DC Universe Presents number 8, written by Dan DiDio and Jerry Ordway, art by Jerry Ordway. Last issue, we had them getting one of the talismans that they needed from some rock giant men thing, and the evil Ace coming back and attacking the Professor and Ken. And then this issue. So this issue is the last issue of the Challenges of the Unknown part of this story. So, woo. We get because this whole thing is supposed to be a TV show, we get an episode of the TV show where they're going over footage of them getting another talisman from a Incan gate that it opened up and it released a whole bunch of giant fire ants to attack them. And that's just this whole scene of them fighting off fire ants. One of the guys, Red, is on top of the gate trying to knock out the talisman, and he finally hits it hard enough it falls out, and all the ants start getting sucked back into the portal, and so does the entire Challengers team as well. And they're all grabbing onto each other like, oh, hold on, don't go through. But Brenda, she loses her grip, and she goes through the portal, and then the portal closes behind her. And then we see this whole thing is actually an interview being done as basically a thing of, oh, so we're remembering Brenda today and all the other members who have been lost along the way. And everyone mourns and everyone talks about it, and they're like, all right, well, that was a good episode. Next week, we'll check out the Challengers returning in their own thing. So then we see Metropolis. We're in the office of Morgan Edge, and June is talking to Morgan, basically saying, yeah, no, the show was doing great, but this sucks. This sucks. So many people around us have died, and it's terrible. And he's like, what do you mean it's terrible? This is freaking awesome. We're getting good ratings. He's like, no, people are dying because of this. Like, how can you be so dismissive? And he's like, I hire and fire people all the time. I hardly see how this is any different. And then June just punches him in the face, tells her that she quits. And he's like, whatever, I've got enough footage to last 2 more seasons of you guys. She's like, yeah, all right, whatever, I'm out. And she leaves. And then Morgan immediately talks to the security guy, being like, did you get that? We're going to use that in the DVD extras. Haha. So then we see June outside. She's talking to Red. He's got the talisman. And they call up Maverick and Rocky because the Professor apparently didn't die. He was literally run through the chest, but he didn't die. So he's recovering in the hospital, and Rocky and Maverick are taking him out, but apparently they still need to run like one more test before he can leave, so they have to leave him with the nurse. But they make their way back to Ken's place, which is still their base of operations at the moment, and they walk in and they're talking about like, all right, maybe we should take a break. We've been running for like a few days now with no rest. And she's like, no, we have to figure out what's up with these talismans. And then she hears something coming from the lab. And when they go inside, they see the Professor, who's there, and he looks perfectly perky and fine and great. And she's like, yeah, no, I had portal technology or something. Anyway, how about those talismans? Tell me that you have the talismans. And they're like, yeah, no, totally. So they pass the, they pull up the talismans and show like, okay, we currently have 3 of them. There are 7 in total. You have to let me see them. And you have to go out right now and find the others. And immediately everyone's like, you are acting really pushy right now, and I don't trust you, especially because we left you in the hospital and you were literally like in a wheelchair, and now you're just standing. I don't like that. And then we see, of course, the real Professor shows up, and the other guy's an imposter. And they're like, all right then, reveal yourself. Who are you? And we see it's Evil Ace. And he's there basically saying, give me your talismans or else I'll kill you all. And then Rocky just tackles him, starts knocking him out, rips away the talisman that he stole from Ken and the Professor. And then as soon as he does so, Ace pulls out a knife, stabs Rocky. Rocky's now dead too. Or is he? Because seemingly running through the chest with a knife doesn't mean anything. So they start firing guns at Ace. Ace pulls out a talisman, uses the energy inside of it, and pulls Maverick hostage. And June, who has the remaining 2 talismans, is like, all right, fine, we surrender, here's the other talismans. And so they pass it over to him, and he's like, yes, I have the power. And then he explodes because it was too much power. And the Professor's like, yeah, I thought that would happen. It's like, wait a minute, hold on, are you saying that we're going to explode if we hold these talismans? And he's like, no. As it turns out, we, the Challengers team, were specially chosen to deal with these talismans. Ace, if you remember, was not part of the original team. Therefore, that's why he died. But we're the reason that these talismans exist, and therefore we will be able to handle their power or something. But, regardless, they were chosen for this. They have to do that in honor of their fallen teammates, in honor of that. They will challenge the unknown and get the remaining talisman. The end. For now, and also for the rest of the New 52, because we are not coming back to that. This issue was possibly the most coherent out of the, 3 issues of this book. Doesn't mean I liked it. It was perfectly mediocre to bad the whole way through. So, yeah, no, it's... I feel like this story operates off the assumption that you have some concept of what the Challengers actually did to begin with. But I guess you could say Deadman did the same thing in the earlier issues, of you have to have some concept of who Deadman is. But even then, I think that this did such a poor job of explaining what in the hell we're doing here. And it's just oh, yeah, mystical mumbo jumbo, and there's talismans, and they have powers, but they're spooky. And I understand that this is all supposed to be unknown. It is the Challengers of the unknown. It is literally not supposed to be explained. But that does not tell a good story, especially when it's the focal point of the entire story, and you're just refusing to explain, what's going on with half of it. So, yeah, no, I'm glad this arc is done. I don't know what's coming up next. I haven't actually looked yet, but in terms of this specific issue, it's a 5. Art was okay, not great. Humor was meh. Story was bleh. It's just a mediocre issue and a mediocre story all around. So, yeah, while the Deadman side of this may be worth it, the Challenge of the Unknown side, definitely not.